Thank you, thank you. That means some of you will live. Happy Tuesday, everyone. So Kamala Harris is speaking in San Francisco tomorrow, and she's charging $25 for anyone who wants to live stream it. And if you don't have $25, she'll also accept alternate forms of payment. So why is this being live streamed? It's a good question. Well, it's to allow women to watch from home instead of leaving their husbands alone with the help. President Trump said he's bringing back Columbus Day after Joe Biden renamed the holiday Indigenous Peoples Day. And surprise, one Native American leader now claims she's part Italian. Oh, now they laugh. Luigi. Actor Terrence Howard says he turned down the role of singer Marvin Gaye because he couldn't kiss a man. It's the same reason he won't play Barack Obama. Meanwhile, former First Lady Michelle Obama says Trump's deportation policy keeps her up at night. I get it. You'd be worried, too, if your husband's from Kenya. Wow. J.B. Pritzker is now calling for mass protests and disruption, vowing that Republicans cannot know a moment of peace. Well, now we'll know how his toilet feels. A psychiatrist is willing to testify that Sean Diddy Combs did not have the mental capacity to commit crimes. The psychiatrist will do this by pointing to his music. Finally, the tennis world is up in arms after a new rule stipulates that chaperones must watch players shower after matches to make sure they don't evade drug tests. Meanwhile, guess who has applied for the job as chaperone? So today marks Donald Trump's first 100 days in office. Fair enough. But in reality, 100 is an arbitrary number, kind of like the age of consent for Hunter Biden or Kamala's blood alcohol content. But with Trump, 100 feels like 1,000. So many moves, and many are big. This March saw the lowest monthly number of border encounters on record. Violent illegals who roamed the streets under Biden are being removed at record speed. Only 9 illegals have been discharged into the country, but they were released into the audience for Fox and Friends and quickly self-deported. Trump downsized federal government with DOGE, saving $160 billion in the process. It's far from enough, but at this rate, $1.6 billion a day, we might avoid economic ruin. He crushed DEI, took men out of women's sports, returned plastic straws to our waiting mouths, unleashed domestic energy production, and made showers great again. Not that some Democrats actually use them.
Damn.
But when Trump says he'll do something, he does it at breakneck speed. How do you explain this? Well, all Trump did is match the pace of politics to the accelerating change of technology. And Trump 2.0 is changing the speed of politics. So much so, it's like replacing a carrier pigeon with a 5G iPhone. Or replacing Jesse Waters with someone who had their GED. So as policies move faster than a prune Danish through Joe Biden's digestive tract, other things will take time, like tariffs. But where's the media's hysterics now that the stock market's returned to near normal in mere days? I get it, because while Trump's rolling, Dems are polling at record lows, coming in just above poison ivy and just below anal fissures. So they resort to aping the past with no solutions for the future. On Sunday, Dem leaders sat on the Capitol steps spewing verbal diarrhea for 12 hours. They were so sad even pigeons wouldn't on them. Cory Booker emphasized moral urgency. Well, if it's so urgent, Cory, why are you the one killing the most time? I've seen homeless guys get more crap done. On one hand, he tells us the sky's falling. On the other, he's seeing how long he can go without peeing. But today, Dems are too impaired by anger and self-driven theatrics to see clearly. They're chasing the romance of resistance, embracing losing issues like the Maryland dad, as if Ward Cleaver also punched June in the face. Thanks. No wonder the corrupt media, our neutral observers, have hit Trump with a 92% negative coverage. So what's going on here? Well, Trump's revealed the true battle. It's between the ins and the outs, the self-obsessed versus the selfless. Every morning, Trump wakes up to life as an adventure. What can I do today? What dragon can I slay? Meanwhile, the aging Dems still cling to identity politics. They've become consumed by the self and left the world behind. Trump, however, has no time for who he is. It's what he does that matters. He's productive, not resentful. The future is his. The past is dead. Modern leftism is the reverse. It no longer seeks meaning in the outside world. It's now who you are, not what you do, which leads to nothing but disaster. Look at the border, crime, biology. The obsession with self replaced the pursuit of solutions. Meanwhile, the solution to the Dems' problem is right in front of them. It's Trump. He's showing you the way forward, and it is forward. You need to stop looking backward, obsessing over past oppressions while mimicking dead radicals. You need to look up and out. There's a world out there that dwarfs whatever you think your pronoun is. Right now, the Dems are looking backward and inward. No future, no adventure, just the past and the sad self. So today serves as a moment of reflection. 100 days can be a transformative period, but only if you're tired of living in the past and living in your own head. Let's welcome tonight's guest! Staring at his suit may cause seizures. Host of Making Money on Fox Business, Charles Page. He's the reason that laws have women's names in them. Host of the Jim Norton Can't Save You podcast, Jim Norton. Caffeine takes her to stay awake. Co-host of Outnumbered, Emily Campagno. And he makes The Rock look like a pebble. New York Times bestselling author, comedian, and former NWA world champion, Charles, you put the pain in pain with that window pane suit.
Well, thank you.
I'd like to scrub you clean right now. How would you grade? I hate this whole concept of the 100 days. It just feels like a media creation, but we have to talk about it. What's your grade? How's the economy?
The economy is great.
Yeah.
Here's the most amazing thing. There's never been a fear campaign to this degree ever. Mm-hmm. Ever. The stats blow me away. There have been more negative stories about Trump than COVID.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
I believe you.
The media has scared the hell out of people.
Mm-hmm.
Just a couple hours ago, Visa reported earnings and said consumers are doing great. They're not the only company that said that. On Wall Street, there's a thing called soft data and hard data. The soft data is all the surveys when you scare the hell out of people. And it's so funny, like, tariffs are going to destroy you. What are you worried about right now? Tariffs? Oh, wow. I mean, then they feign like, oh, look at the public. No, it is really absolutely amazing. I was shocked when you said 8% had positive stories. Like, who are these people? Because they're probably going to be fired. There's nothing he can do that will get positive coverage. But I'm telling you right now, I think they're setting themselves up for a big trap.
Yeah.
The stock market, all the things that they feign to care about these days, because before the stock market never mattered. It was just for rich folks.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, it's hurting. I've had friends who called me up. I know they're not no damn stock market. Stop bull. Like, hey, Charlie, what's your boy doing with the market? I said, why do you care? I'm down. Get the out. I know you 30 years. Yeah. You never asked me about the market once. Get the out of here. Get out of here.
Jim, I fulfilled your dream. I sandwiched you between two large black men. What you do with that dream is entirely up to you.
I'm going to say wake up.
And then I'm going to say run.
Yeah. Well, this could just as easily be your dream, Charles, between me and Greg.
So
when I was on drugs.
So, Jim, 100 days. You're an astute political observer. Is this unlike any first 100 days ever?
Well, except for the length of time. It is interesting to watch. Like, I like certain things he's done, certain things I don't like, but I like Doge. Like, I like that they saved, they said it comes to like $1,000 per, or as I call it, 2.5 escorts per person. I like Doge. I like a lot of the stuff. I like that he's kicking out people who don't belong here because they're not here legally. But I don't like certain things, like I don't like the birthright citizenship thing. I don't think you can't, whether you like it or not, it's the 14th Amendment. And I also don't like that Maryland guy, who I do think belongs out of the country. They still have to bring him back and do it right and then kick him out, because immigration demands you do paperwork and everything 100%.
Did they do that, though? There was a couple of, I mean, I think you and I are probably going to agree. It's an administrative process, not really a legal one. And I'm sure he was before 2 judges. What more do you want?
They both said they have to bring him back, though. That, like, the federal court, I think the Supreme Court, both said, and Trump has to be careful. You can't start bucking courts, because they understand. Liberal courts and conservative courts have more in common than conservative courts do with him. It's like 2 divorce lawyers. You know what I mean? The husband and the wife's lawyers connect with each other a lot more than they connect with the husband and the wife.
That is so interesting.
So I think that he should be careful with that and just get the guy out of the country, but do it by the book.
I think they should bring him back, but make it 2 trips. I don't know what that means.
By the way, he doesn't want to play Barack Obama joke. I'm going to laugh about that for 2 weeks. God, that was a good joke.
Thank you. Emily, do you think it helps? Well, here's a question. Have the Democrats done anything in 100 days? I can't think of anything other than whine and sing horribly.
Yes, the 100 days to the Democrats is like a complete fiction of the rest of our 100 days. So let's take the example that you just talked about, where you talked about an administrative error that needs to sort of correct someone's process, and I assume you are meaning due process. But this person was someone who was already deported and then came back against, he was a recidivist, illegal enterer in the country. And what I don't understand is the sort of wiping the slate clean that the Dems do when they are blurring out the signs on the White House and levying this guy, lifting him up as the Maryland father. I don't quite understand why it's as if their memory has only started from like 2 seconds in, so the conversation is just administrative. But the point was that this guy was a wife-beating, violent, gang-affiliated asshole that kept coming into our country multiple times. It should have stopped then. But here's the point about the 100 days. So we know that there's 92% illegal or negative coverage of the president. 100% negative coverage, by the way, of some of his administrative other people in the administration, like the Secretary of Defense.
Yeah.
What is that? But if you dig into that, it was the lion's share of coverage was about Trump. So only a small portion was Biden, mostly positive, vast majority all Trump, totally negative. But here are the stats that matter. 96% of Trump voters are glad they did. They know it was the right thing to do. 86% know that his economic policies will make us stronger. Half of those say, yep, it's going to be a little rocky, the rocky part we went through, but we know it's going to make us stronger. So the media to the left, hair on fire, their 100 days is everything's blowing up. We tried constitutional crisis. We tried everything. Now we're going to try impeachment since the lawfare didn't work, since illegal voting didn't work. That's where they are now. But the rest of the Americans are glad they are on this ship that has finally been righted thanks to President Trump.
Tyrus, finish us off, and in a completely innocent way.
Yes, I assume so. The sandwich didn't really work out, so we're going to... Listen, desperate times demand desperate measures. And I agree that the Maryland father should get his day in court. Unfortunately, we had the doors of our country ripped wide open, and some of the world's worst villains and perpetrators are walking amongst us. So I think we arrest as many as we can, we kick them out, we move them out of the country, and just like we do here, we'll give them a piece of paper with a court date on it. And once they're all where they need to be, they'll have their little paper with their court date, and in 10 to 12 decades, we'll bring you back for your court date, just like they do
when they're here.
So yes.
What do you come up with this? No, it's a great idea.
So yeah,
it's a great idea.
So we just mirror
Yes.
what they said. Democrats, you have a great idea. We're going to round them all up. We'll El Salvador is a willing tax-free participant to hold said individuals. We will give them their paperwork and then tell them their court date is going to be in, and we'll get you there as soon as you.
Exactly what happens when they come here, and you're doing it back to them. It's perfect. I'm going to steal that for my next book.
Yeah. I was wondering, they get a little, dusty up here, the books, man. You look overdue.
All right, Charles, enough out of you. All right, up next, a football star gets punked.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.